Greetings, listeners. I am your host and game master for this evening, Zach Barrett, and welcome to this Twisted Gear Studios production of Spacers, our Starfinder actual playcast. Last we left our crew, an old acquaintance of Grek's had begun an attack on Hoth's shore. As the crew began their escape, Sheriff Bonda pleaded they at least stay and help the civilians. Against their better judgment, and upon hearing the ship in the local garage had guns, the team rushed to the garage to the ship with the big guns. So, you guys run off down center street of town through Hoth's shore, leaving Sheriff Bond down in the middle of town as there's some chaos ensuing. You guys head south towards the small little ship garage where a human has informed our Vesk companion here, Laurel, that there was a ship that she owns that has been absconded and is being kept in the garage here. As the other four of you, our Goblin Glek, our Sheeran Cliptic, and our Yosoki Flinch, head down the street, there is a voice that is uttered from the intercom of the ship that's hovering above Hoth's shore where the soldiers have been dropping down from. A familiar Kasathan hiss-like voice comes out of the intercom. Come out, wherever you are, Grek, you slimy green bastard! Where are you? You all stop and look right over to Greg.
I knew it was your fault the whole time. I knew it.
It's not Grek's fault.
Oh, okay. Why have we stopped running?
From my scrap metal, you thieving cod.
We should go.
Okay.
You
Your fault,
don't show yourself, I'll topple this town building by building until I find you.
Greg heard you say ship guns. There are ship guns. We're gonna need big guns. We'll blow him out of the sky. Where's ship?
It's in a building at the end of town, right? Would
Yeah,
you call it the ship garage or something?
Yeah.
It's close by. It's over there. Freaking out. I mean, it's like
Greg picks
pointing.
up double speed.
It's like one of those, live action anime movies where the guy starts running and their feet are barely touching the ground as they
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
All right. Laurel, you and your new human compatriot have made it to the garage first. You don't run into too much resistance. However, upon entering the garage, you do hear as there is a blue-skinned android that's hiding behind a garage that sees the two of you walk in, gun up. What? Who are you? Are you with the? You don't look like one of them. And you see there's a couple of shot down men in black armor before him.
Of course we're not with them. But look, this ship here, the really big guns on it, wouldn't you rather we used it to get rid of more of these guys?
Oh yeah, and you're gonna tell me that you know how to fly, you know how to shoot, and you're just gonna totally give me the ship back afterwards.
Of course we're not going to give you the ship back, but we're not with those guys.
Where's my ship?
Since when?
Roll a diplomacy check.
This extent of my diplomacy is asking since when. 5.
No. You want to just come on and do... That's what they said. They said, look, we got your town, now we got your ship. It's not happening.
Well, we're not taking your town. We're kicking out the guys who are gonna. I think that's a fair trade. Or I could shoot you.
Roll an intimidation check.
3.
Least intimidating Vesk ever
You
born.
put the gun away when you say you're going to shoot him, which confuses him as he looks down to your gun and up to you and thinks, yeah, you don't know how to fly a ship. Why would I give this to you? To which Farrah comes on up, points a gun right at him. Yeah, that's a little bit higher. He goes, finders keepers doesn't apply here. This is mine. I'm taking it back. I might come down and say goodbye later, but I was just going to get out of here. If she's insisting on shooting a couple of guys behind, you better be happy that we're at least doing you some kind of a favor. Keys are over there. Points out towards one of the lockers.
Much obliged.
Just kind of looks at you up and down like, not you. All right, so as you guys, you and Farah enter onto the ship, the android looking a little bit terrified of Farah, but looking at you like you're kind of a clown.
I'm going to interpret that as he's scared of both of us.
That's fair. You head on into the ship. The ship is relatively spacious, but there's a lot of just emptiness to it. It seems that whatever was in here has been taken. It's just completely hollowed out. You enter up towards the bridge-like area. There's a few seats. There is like a captain's perch, upon entering the main bridge area of this ship. There's a lot of glass-like material. Obviously, it's not glass because spaceships. It's like that kind of a see-through plexi sort of thing. You come on in. There are 5 chairs in total. And there are 4 like sectioned off bay chairs, like with control console all around them, and they circle around a glass arch, like a pillar that extends outwards, that seems to have its own command console where a person that's leading the ship would probably stand. Looking around, Farah just goes straight, as if she knows the place, goes straight towards that command console, starts punching in some things. Lights begin turning on. What would you like to do there, Laura?
I look for something that's like a gunnery station.
Yeah, say that the one on the far right seems to be the one that has a lot of gun mechanics on it. Mm-hmm. The ship in question... Okay. So, as you hop on there, the ship has one large chain gun slung underneath it. It points forward only, and a little bit of distance to get as much out of it as possible. And as she starts powering on the ship, she starts cursing about something or other, something not activating properly, and you feel the ship beginning to shake quite violently as she begins to power it up, and then she powers it back down. Drone down.
What's wrong?
The ship probably got ditched here whenever whoever stole it buggered it up and left it in the middle of nowhere. It's pretty much just scrap at this point.
Could the android fix it? I can't fix it.
We'll probably, threaten him with a kneecap. At about that point, the 3 of you will come on in through the garage door, and there's an android that pops up to you and goes, "Not more of you. Oh, Cliptic."
What's wrong?
Well, a couple of others came in here wagging their guns around. One scary-looking one not very scary-looking one. They about to take me haul.
The one with the big guns on it?
Well, yeah, it's got the one big one at the front.
Good. And I leave.
What mission? Oh. The 3 of you run past him. You run onto the ship. Where would the 3 of you like to immediately head to?
Oh, I'm gonna get in the pilot seat.
You run up to the bridge. Cliptic, you run to the bridge as well?
Yep.
You went to the bridge as well?
As I'm going on, I'm wondering why this ship isn't already started.
Roll a mechanics check just from entering the ship.
Ooh, that's a 28.
Oh, wow. Okay. When you were on your way towards the garage, you could hear the engine starting up, and it kind of put a little skip in your step as if they were leaving without you, and then you heard it power down after some vibrating. Upon entering the ship and seeing some of the damage from the outside that seems pretty minimal to the average eye, but to a keen mechanic like you, there's probably something in the engine room you can go and piece together and help get her up and going again.
I'm going to immediately run to the engine room.
So as the 3 of you are running Cliptic, you're like, yeah, the bridge sounds like a good idea. And as you get to a certain hallway, the 2 of them split and go in opposite directions. Yusoki one way, the goblin the other.
I'm gonna probably pause there and look left and right and look so lost in everything because now I have to actually make an important decision in my life. Oh, I am going to follow the goblin because I don't trust her.
Aww.
The goblin.
Yeah.
All right. I will start with Cliptic and Grek. Actually, you guys pop on through and turn up the door, opens up to the bridge. As you enter,
I immediately pull a gun on them.
I was gonna say the vest that you've seen before that you've bandaged up turns on, whips a gun on the 2 of you. The human that was thrown into the jail cell also turns around, whips a gun at the 2 of you. Who are you?
Friend! You! Hello!
You?
This is a town, I don't know, you doctor? surgeon, nurse.
Mystic medic. Thank you very much.
Okay. What are you? I'm still pointing a gun at you. What are you doing here?
We need to help the town.
Well, the ship won't take off.
We have someone on it, I think.
What? Who else is here?
Ask the goblin.
I point the gun at you. What are you doing here?
Grek, sit in the seat now. You stand to side.
Wait.
Stand to side!
Wait, Greg.
Little thing scutters on past you towards one of the middle two seats and hops in. Your feet don't
I'll do
touch
an
the
acrobatics
ground.
check if you want me to.
You know what? Why not? Please.
Oh, please don't roll a 1. This would be funny.
kind of
It would be funny. Yeah. 5 on the dice plus 8, 11, 12, so 17 acrobatics.
Well, Greg is short, with 3.5 feet.
Yeah, roughly.
Goes, jumps, grabs the top of the chair, just leapfrogs over it, lands in the chair. Her feet stick out straight on the chair, pulls the big seat belts that are obviously made for individuals significantly larger than you. You pull the chair forward, you reach up onto the console. There's no power.
I'll find the comm system.
Yeah. So as you get onto the comm system, you open up the engineering bay. You open up. This wave of heat hits you as there seems to be something blocking whatever produces the energy in the engine from escaping and properly cooling the system off. So this engine room is extremely hot.
Okay, so I immediately run in and try to assess the situation and what I can do to make this ship fly.
As you hop on in, your comms turn on.
Barbara!
Yes, Chuckles.
Make ship fly!
Yeah, well, just give me a couple of minutes.
That's right.
The more you're talking to me, the more time it's going to take, okay? People are dying. People are dying. You can eat later. Click.
Roll a mechanics check, please.
I rolled a 20.
Nice.
So plus 10, so 30.
Yeah, for skills, it's a little bit different than for combat. Natural 20 is, you're... So as soon as you hop on in there, you lick your finger, you put it up towards the wind. That's not happening here. Except you do feel where the exhaust is coming from. There. You climb up on top of a couple of pipes and you go into a section where some of the pipes kind of collide into one long conduit with a Yosoki-sized hole where a second tube should go, but you could fit and kind of crawl through in there. You go on through, pop on the other side. It seems one of the pipes from some kind of a strike seems to have cracked off and covering one of the exhaust ports. Get in there, you with all your Yosoki might, you push it back into place, and then you're... And all this like extreme steam and heat becomes coming out of that little exhaust port, up into the pipe you've just fixed, and out into the back end of the ship. As that happens, the lights go from red to the average amber that you should expect from a starship, and everyone in the bridge, you watch as all the consoles.
Was that quick enough for you?
No.
And I just start pushing it and start bringing the engines up.
I kind of nudge Barrett. Wasn't Grek the person that the ship wanted?
You shoot me, you no fly.
I can fly a ship.
Not if you're dead.
Is what?
And I'll just start moving the ship.
Roll a piloting.
Okay, that's awesome. That's going to be a 13 on the dice, plus 7, 8, 9, so 22 in
What do you say
total.
there, Derek?
I was wondering if my comm was still open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I said, Grek, maybe somebody else could pilot it, but you can't pilot it if I shut the engines down again.
Farrah kind of drops the gun. She looks around, looks mostly at you, Laurel, and it's like, are we getting hijacked during a hijacking? Are we hijacking a ship that's getting hijacked from us? What's with this hijackingception?
Greg, not afraid to crash. You should sit down.
Ship launches out of the garage. The garage door wasn't fully open, so you shatter the wood from the door as you head on out and off into the autumn wastes. You could fly off into space right now. I'm going to very briefly go over some basic things for piloting. Of the 4 of you that are, player characters that are on the ship, there are 5 characters on the ship. Farah is going to take the captain's chair, obviously. Grek, sounds like you've got the helm position. Cliptic, sounds like you've got the science officer position for the time being.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Laurel, looks like you got the gunner position.
Woo!
And
Flinch?
Finch, looks like you've got the mechanic position. For some reason, I'm just gonna never remember your name.
Yes, I will probably be scooting between the mechanic's position and the science officer position.
Oh, well, here's how it's going to kind of go. At the top of every single round, we'll get you get to move around positions should you so choose. Then we'll go into our engineering phase where our engineers and the enemy engineers will get to go at the same time. Helm phases where both ships' helms will go at the same time. And then the gunnery phases where both ships' gunners get to go at the same time. So, with that out of the way, you have launched the ship out of the garage. You are flying away, and should you choose to turn around, do you wish to fly completely out of Parliament, or do you want to turn around and help the people offshore?
We should help my townspeople.
So, how long have you actually lived there?
Long enough.
Fine.
Wow, questionable morals.
So, Grek looks like he's twitching a little bit, like he's, resolving some kind of inner conflict, or as much conflict as goblins have within themselves. And then he lets out a and turns the ship around.
Alright, so your ship begins to turn around. So you turn the ship around, and there ahead of you is the town of Hov's Shore. Very shanty, probably a hamlet would be more accurate, really. And in the center of it, there is this medium-sized ship that's kind of there, and it doesn't seem to be moving. But you do notice on the top of it, there does seem to be a bit of a swiveling component, so you can safely assume that there is some kind of a turret weapon. So with that, can you please, for the sake of initiative, Grek, roll me a piloting check, if you'd be so kind.
That is 14 on the dice, plus 9. Right, 9 skill points, so that's 23.
You just edged out in front of them. 22. All right, so your guys' positions will go first, unless except for movement, but we'll see what happens when we get there. So engineering, your engineering team gets to go first. Mr. Engineer.
Okay, so at the moment it seems to Flinch that the ship is working at top capacity that it can at the moment. There's no real damage. Everything seems to be functioning properly.
Not besides the malfunctioning pipe you found earlier.
So at this...
Is it in ship shape?
Oh my god!
No!
Oh.
I quit, I'm done.
Oh, Laurel. Full of the jokes. So I'm going to...
You're not what I thought you were.
Actually, from this position, I'm going to get over the comm and connect with Cliptic.
Yes.
And say, hey, me and you are going to try to scan their ship to see what kind of stuff we got, and we'll help each other out when we are able to.
Well, actually, I'll jump in there really quickly, just as a bit of a friendly nudge. So we're all, and also a bit of a heads up to the audience as well, it's kind of like our first time actually fully playing Starfinder. So there is going to be a few times we'll offer hints and things like that. This is for us as well as for the audience to kind of learn a little bit more about what the options are that are available. So yeah, the two of you can kind of jump back and forth and do that, but scanning is a science officer thing.
So we'll
but
do
what
it
you
then.
can do is you can give one of your things right now, since there's nothing to repair, no shields, the energy diverted. You could offer an extra bonus to the next gunnery check to up their damage.
As long as I can still contribute in the scan phase, by all means. Yeah, sounds good to
Well,
me.
I guess diverting power, so yeah, you can either give her a +2 to scanning, or you can give Laurel a +2 to damage. Oh, you want to be a science officer. In this case, you're not in the engineering phase, you go later.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly, yeah.
There's
No, I
my-
understand what your point was, though.
Okay, so there are no engineers for this ship. The other ship's engineers get to go. We do not know what they've done. Helm phase. All right. So in this particular instance, now we'll do science officers first. So what would you like to do, Flinch?
Okay, so at the moment, if you can help me out, it's a DC 10 computers check. If she succeeds, she'll give me a +2, and then I make the computers check
at that difficulty.
Mom, look at that.
I have a plus 11 base computers.
So what do I need to do?
What's your plus on computers?
On computers, a 1.
A 1? So you need to roll a d20 and get a 9 or higher.
Okay, here we go.
Give her a go.
That's a 9. That's an 8 on the dice and the 1, and that's a 9.
That's 10. That's enough.
Wait,
Okay.
No, it's
No,
9.
it's
It's
9.
9
It's
total.
No,
It's
she
8 on the
needed a
dice.
9. She
Needed to
rolled an
roll.
8. She needed to roll a 9.
Oh,
Yeah.
at the 9.
I
You rolled a 9.
Screwed.
So she goes to the computer. You look at the computer console. You see all the numbers and blips, and like, this is not your area of expertise.
Oh, this looks colorful.
Ah, yes.
You're very
I
inspired
forgot.
to draw
Coloring in T. Yes. I'll attempt at the computer
Yep.
scan just by itself. I'll probably roll a 1. Let's see how this works out.
Don't do that.
So the difficulty for the scan is 10 plus the tier of the starship being scanned and the bonus from its defensive countermeasures.
Yep.
And I have a 15 total. I rolled a 4.
Wow.
So it depends on if I got it.
One quick second here. You're doing a scan here?
Yes, I am. Yeah, because I'll get one piece of unknown. One.
Yeah. All right. So things you find out. It is a medium-class ship with a crew complement of 35 people.
Ooh.
And yeah, it doesn't have a lot of maneuverability. It's got a decent amount of speed, but it does not seem to have any energy put towards its engines right now. It is maintaining a static position.
Fair enough.
That's what your scans will give you on this particular
I'm glad
instance.
of getting anything from a 4.
Yeah, that's actually not bad. All right, moving on down the line. The helm phase, Grek. What would you like to do?
I'd like
Force.
to take us along to an advantageous position so that the gunner can get off a good shot against them. Our shields, we had 3 on starboard and 3 on...
Yeah, 3 starboard, 3 port, 2 forward, 2 aft.
Okay, so I'll take us up along so our starboard side is facing them because I want to have higher shields. And yeah, so I'll just...
So the only issue is if you go to starboard side facing them, your forward facing guns cannot shoot them.
right.
If forward-facing guns only.
Right. Okay. So, can I maneuver so that we're on their side, but facing forward? So, like, we'd fire into the side of the ship. Let's say their starboard side.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your scans would have shown part of the basic information is that they have equal shields on all 4 sides. So wherever they get hit, it's mostly irrelevant for terms of benefit. All right. Just because it's basic flying, you don't need to roll anything for this. But we're gonna go into the gunnery phase. You get to take a shot. You're within range.
I'm gonna shoot. Oh. Okay, so that is a 3. So I add my piloting rank and
And dexterity.
my dex, but that still makes it a 5.
So you fire, it shoots completely wide. We're off to a great start.
Deja vu.
It's a gun's fault.
Yeah, literally.
Of course it's a gun. It's not set up right. It's not calibrated properly.
Of course it's not.
Just keep telling yourself that. Oh dear.
All right, as the round comes to a close, the captain's gonna look around. He's like, "We're doing this. We're seriously doing this. You're gonna. All right, fantastic." She seems to play with some kind of computer console on the panel that she's at. But that seems to be the action she takes. No one's quite sure what it is that she's done, but that's the action that she chose to take. They're gonna recheck us to go as well at this particular moment in time. So they're going to shoot with their turret-based gun at you guys. And with that is enough to hit. So you're going to get struck on your forward side. All right. So you are dealt 10 total damage. You feel the hurt as...
It knocks out the shield in the forward.
Your forward shields are completely depleted as their rail gun or their chain gun just peppers the front of your ship. Your shield, you watch the emitters just shatter in the front, and you are not quite dealt critical damage but you were very close to getting some issues dealt with to your ship. And with that, we're going to go to the top. Does anybody wish to switch positions before we begin the new round of space or starship combat?
Flinch is going to move back to engineering. Start dealing with that.
I'm
issue.
gonna stay where I am. So.
Okay. All right, so Flinch, you're back to engineering. You're staying as science officer. So in that case, engineering teams get to go right now. Flinch, what would you like to do?
I would like to use the divert action, and I'm going to try to power up those shields again.
All right, cool. Roll it.
So the DC is 12. because
Yeah, it'll be 12 for
Starship's
you
Terror
guys.
is 1.
Yep. You're not entirely familiar with the ship, but you got the sense.
Yeah, well, I had a 22.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
enough. All right, so you get 7 points worth of allocation, but you cannot exceed the maximum shield points of the ship, so you can just fully restore the front.
Yeah, so
What's
I'm
the
just.
maximum shields? and shit?
It's what they are, I believe. 2 4, 2 aft, 3 starboard,
So
3 port.
you have a maximum shield capacity of 10 points,
Okay.
and you cannot have less than 10% of that in one zone. So it's split 2, 2, 3, 3.
So I'm going to return 2 shields to the front that were knocked out.
Cool.
That's my role as engineer.
Nice.
Yeah, done. All right. They perform an engineering check. You don't know what it is. On to the helm phase. Miss Science Officer over here. Is there anything you would like to do for your Science Officer check?
So is balance shield similar to what you
Balancing
just
shields
did?
will allow you to move shield points around to bolster other shields. So you could take a couple of points off of other zones of shields and move them to the front.
Okay, and that's how that's the way we're facing to shoot. So why don't I do that?
So it is.
So you have to pick one quadrant, and you can select. So if you picked your port side, you can pick up to 2 points and move that to the front. You can avoid
Okay, so I can't actually take from two sides and be like 1 and 1. Okay, all right. I'm going to say right now, yeah, I'll say port side actually, because I'm assuming if we flee, we want shields at the back of us.
That's a good idea. That's a safe
So
bet.
I'm gonna say yes, port side. I'm gonna take some of that.
So
and
it's a DC 17 computers check.
okay.
Roll your dice.
Oh god. Oh, and so okay, so I have 16 on my die, and I have for computers a 1.
17.
That's
is
17.
Actually, the DC is 16. It's close. But, oh wait.
No, it's
17.
No, 17. Yeah, 17. So yeah, 17. That's enough. So that's good. All right.
Yay.
So you take 2 points off of the port arc of your ship and you transfer it to the forward section. So if they attack the front again,
They're at 4.
you're at 4. All right. Also in the helm phase, Grek, what do you like to do? You can still maintain your straightforward course for another turn without having to roll anything, but after next turn, if you want to stay within combat range, you'll have to do some fancy stuff.
Am I able to pull the ship back a little bit, but still, I'm assuming we have a forward-facing gun, and I still want them to be shot at, so...
You can't move backwards if you're moving forward. Like just the way the momentum works with starships, won't be able to do that unless you're if we're in space maybe, but if you're moving forwards in atmosphere,
Okay.
you could slow. Well, I guess you could slow down.
I'll come around and then turn the ship around so that we're facing their aft. I'll say that. If they have equal shields and a turret gun, then whatever side we're on them, I mean, it doesn't really make a difference.
Cool. Roll a piloting check, and you get a +1 bonus modifier to it because of the ship's maneuverability.
So that's a 6 on the die, plus 1 bonus, plus 8, 9, so 16 again.
Okay, apologies. You also get an additional 2, so you're actually at 18. So yeah, all right, cool. So you shift the ship around, kind of like a strafing position towards the back of the ship, and yeah, there you go. You're at the aft end of the ship. You get to take another shot again if you like.
All right, let's do this. Yes. So it is +7. You said?
It'll be +4.
Why is it sometimes +4? Oh wait, because it goes to 7.
You
before,
rolled
so
7
+4.
last
Okay,
time.
20.
20. That's enough to hit. All right, you roll 4d4.
Can I borrow some d4s, please? That's 11.
11 damage. Okay, sweet. So the shields, you watch as the shield emitters on the back end of the ship take a good chunk of that damage, and it's completely, it shatters and the shields are completely gone on the aft section, and then a good number of your pellets tear up the back end of the ship. You don't see any critical effects happening, but you get a sense that
time.
you know there's a good chance that it could happen. All right, it's up to their gunnery check to start shooting at you with their turret. You sit there and you wait for return fire. There is no return fire.
Ha.
All right, back to the top of the round again.
Losers.
All right, anybody moving positions?
I'm gonna stay in engineering.
I'm gonna stay where I am.
All right, cool. Everyone's staying. So, engineering, you get to go. What would you like to do?
Well, at this step, where the shields are at maximum, we haven't taken a critical yet. I'm gonna go ahead and do the divert action again. Except at this point, I'm going to divert it the power to the starship's weapons.
Nice. All right, roll that.
Okay, so the difficulty is 12. So
Yep.
with a 2 plus a 10, it's still 12.
Oh my god. Okay, so you get. Wow. Okay.
Because it's one of those base actions. So
Yeah.
plus I'm an engineering god.
All right, so that means that gunnery, if you roll a 1 for damage, it'll count as a 2.
Nice.
As for each die, so when you roll 4d4, if any of them
Yeah.
pop up as 1, they're actually 2.
Okay. But that's only if the pop-up is 1? It's not a +1 to all of them?
No, it's
No.
only if you roll a 1, it's treated as a 2.
Okay.
So you can't deal less than 8 damage. Is basically like minimum. Is basically what that means, which is actually pretty good. All right, so you work in the engineering bay. You do some fandangling. You pull a cable here. You pop it into another slot,
better hit
and you see the little bit of excess power exceeding the threshold on your weapons meter. This could be exciting. Onwards to Helm. We're gonna start again with the science officer. What would you like to do?
Okay. So targeting system. That I can I target where we've depleted the shields on that ship? Is that
Yes. So how targeting system works, because there are no shields on the aft end of the ship, which is where you're facing. You can select life support, sensors, weapons array, engines, or power core. What this means is that you get to you'll make a check. If you succeed the check on Laurel's next hit, if she rolls a 19 or 20, that system will become critical.
Okay. And the cost of that is it's a computers, correct?
It's a computer.
Yep, it's computer check.
It's computers. I'm gonna say the weapon system.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh.
So you gotta roll a...
Well, she can roll and tell you. You tell her if she succeeds.
Yep, roll a computer's check.
Oh my god, yes. So I got 19 on the die, and I got a 1 on the computer, so that's a 20.
You do some fandangling on the computer. You're getting the hang of this computer stuff.
Sweet.
This isn't really your
I am
your
not
shtick,
a useless thing.
but you find exactly the weak point right at the base of the router of the turnstile of their rotary cannon.
Okay.
And you see the power increase on your output from your weapons. You see the scan targeting the base of their turret. Feel like you got a pretty good chance of getting rid of them. Grek, do you want to leave her having a good shot?
Yes, I do. So, I just want to make sure that we're still going to be able to face the aft part of the ship for maximum damage output, if possible. So,
This is very exciting for you.
if there's something among the stunt list that can help me out, that's on 319. Then I'll use one of those, like where I've been coming at the aft part of the ship. If I have to maybe bring her up into a flip.
I'll
Back
say
off.
that we'll back off is you know what? That's a
off.
stunt there,
If
right?
that's to reduce speed.
No, it says moves up to half its speed in the direction of the aft edge. So you're still.
So that does
We're
work.
pointing in the same direction, but you kind of move backwards.
My apologies. All right,
Okay.
cool.
No,
So
I'll do that.
roll for me a paladin check, please.
Okay. 12 on the die, plus 9, so another 21.
That's not bad. Okay, it was a much higher DC than I thought it was going to be. But 22 you said?
21.
21, still enough.
Okay, cool.
All right. So with that, you as much as so, even though we're in atmosphere and you've got forward momentum on the go, you the engines on the back of the ship kind of cease, and they turn around. The side ones turn around and begin blowing forward, and you kind of begin moving backwards, maintaining your view of the forward shields there. However, before we move into the gunnery phase, their helms get to go. So that is not enough. You do not see the shields regenerate on their backside. So, with that,
The butt is
Did the captain
exposed.
give any encouragement?
Shoot on it. Shoot.
oh, yeah, she should probably do something nice, huh?
Yeah,
pressure.
Farah. Yeah, maybe you should be nice to us.
Well, she seems to be done with the thing that she was occupied with. Give me a sec here. Yeah, she's gonna give words of encouragement. Here we go. Diplomacy check. Let's go with this. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, so as you watch the energy spike, meter spike on your weapons sheet there, you also see the targeting zone. You then hear, it's almost like if there was music and a lot of noise in this moment, it would kind of go quiet as she goes, light them up. You get +2 on your next roll.
All right. 9.
With the +2,
Yep.
Didn't you give her a plus?
give her new dice. Give her new dice.
She rolled a 3 and she has a +6.
There's a wide zone of hits, and you fire, and the bullets fly off that way.
What is happening?
However, their gun seems to now be working again. They also miss you guys. As you're backing up, they fire where you would have been, and they miss you guys completely. All right, back to the top of the round. Anybody wish to swap positions?
No.
No.
Are the bonuses now just gone because I missed?
Yes.
Damn it.
Yes, that's unfortunately how that kind of how she wrote. All right, so with that, we're going back to the engineering phase. What would our engineer like to do? Good old Flinch.
Well, the same thing as before. Same thing as last round, as our shields are still at full and there's no critical damage. I may as well continue diverting power to the weapons, hoping for that shot to sneak through. Yeah, so I'm just gonna
Roll it.
roll that. That's a 28. So I divert the power to the weapon systems.
You watch that power meter on your screen there, Laurel, go back up above maximum again. All right.
Don't miss this time.
However, what you do see from the bridge is the rear shields of their ship regenerate again, and they seem to be back to full.
Okay.
All right, onwards to our helm section. Science officer, good old Clip Tech, what would you like to do?
Right. And so that area that was exposed is not exposed again.
No, unfortunately not.
So I guess I can't use targeting system because it's a. Okay, fine. Would it be possible to balance the shields again, get a little bit more
Trying to put more juice to the front
more
shield?
juice to the
Certainly
front
can.
shield?
You
Yeah.
pull 2 from your starboard side or 1 from your aft side.
I'm gonna take it from the opposite side, so we're still equal on both sides. So I think it was No, did I take it from the aft?
You took it from port.
Port.
So yeah,
So
you can take up to 1 or 2 points from your starboard side and move them to the
yeah. So start. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Cool.
Okay. And that is so it is the die plus computer again.
Yep.
So I have it on the die is 16, on the computer is 1, so that's 17.
Yeah.
17 is just enough.
Oh my god.
Just enough.
Oh man.
All right, so you are now operating at 6 shields on the front.
Yep.
And 1 on either side and 2 on your aft.
Yeah.
All right. One quick second here. Cool. Awesome. Greg, pilot, you get to move one more time before we get on to the gunnery phase of things.
All right, so since their aft shields have come back up again, we don't have to stay here because.
Sorry, my apologies. You rolled higher than their pilot. So before
Okay.
you begin moving, you begin to see that their ship starts moving in a forward direction since you're behind them.
Okay.
They begin to move as if they're going to start fighting you.
Okay. I'd like to make it as difficult as possible for them to get a solid shot on us. Like, I don't want to become a static target or anything like that. So, is there any kind of movement I can take from the stunt list?
You mean to be more evasive?
Yes, I'll
So-
make us evasive.
There's an evade stunt where you can move up to your speed and can turn as normal, but you gain a +2 to AC and TL till the start of the next round.
Yep, you guys can do that. You're currently moving forward, so I would say that once you perform this, you're no longer backing up, you're just moving forward. You are behind them at this point, and they seem to be moving slower than you. So you do still have a bit of an advantage, but going into doing an evade action would make it harder for them to shoot you with their 360 turret.
Okay.
So if you want, yeah, you can roll up a piloting check.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's a 1 on the die, plus 9, so 10 total
Okay.
for me. I'm gonna assume that's not enough.
So you're diminutive size, sitting in your chair. You go to reach up and grab a button, you can't quite find it, and the ship is just moving backwards constantly in one solid direction.
Okay. Well, at least I'm
Did-
increasing distance.
Was that a fail by 5 or more? 10?
Yes.
So-
oh wait, so by 10?
Yeah.
Oh, I got 10 total, so depending
Because
on the DC.
they still add together, so it's still a 10. But
It was a fail by 4.
okay.
All right.
So
That makes a
close.
difference.
Yeah,
that makes a difference.
that's very important.
Okay.
If you don't mind me helping there. just-
Yep, nope, that's right. Otherwise, your AC is deduced by 5.
Yeah.
Easier to hit. That
Okay.
would suck.
All right.
All right. You're on to your gunneries.
Here we
Your
go.
gunners get to go
Trying with
first.
different dice. It's another 3. This time I don't have the other bonus.
Try a different die.
Yeah.
Tried a different die, and this
Yeah.
time it's a total of 7.
You shoot down the main street of Hobbs Shore. You miss all the civilians, but you begin opening fire on the town itself.
What kind of piloting skill do you have?
I feel
Better
like we're disappointing the captain.
There is a point where she goes,
She can shoot then.
actually, she might. All right, at the end of this one, she's actually going to perform a... Oh, that's taunting only works if she does it at the beginning of it. No, it's for the whole next turn. So this actually kind of works out. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so she opens up the comm. She goes, forget this. She calls them up. She's going to roll a taunt. She hits the thing. She goes, Okay, well, I guess if they're not going to pick up the phone, I can't exactly yell at them. All right, I tried, guys. All right, we'll get back to the top of the combat round. Does anybody wish to change positions?
So so I could go to captain and try taunt as well.
The only issue. Okay, so unfortunately, no.
Dang.
This is the captain chair.
Rats.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I won't.
For this one, yeah. So
What's your piloting and what's your dex? Okay, never mind.
My piloting is 1,
So's mine.
and my dexterity is 12
Oh.
plus 1,
Yeah.
Okay.
13.
Alright.
So
I'm going to stay in engineering.
I'm gonna
Keep
stay.
trying to boost those weapons.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay inside officer. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna be useful for, but it'll be fine.
Okay. So in engineering, what are you going to do again there, sir?
I'm going to, at the moment, same thing as before. We still
Alright.
have full shields.
Roll it.
Okay. Going to go for... yes, so I divert, 17. That's
Yep.
what I have.
It's enough.
And I enhance the weapons with more power again.
All right. You watch as the power exceeds again. Is ready for you to make contact
Hopefully
with
hit
something
something.
but a town of wood.
You got this, you big lizard!
All right. We're on to Helm, science officer. Are you gonna do anything over there, Clip?
Can I actually scan the ship to see what their what their trajectory? I can speak. Trajectory is.
Sure. Yeah. Roll it. Roll a computer check,
Use
please.
your words. So that is a 12 on the die, and then computers is 1, so 13.
That is just enough.
Oh my god, really?
Yes. You find that they are getting ready to turn around and destroy you.
Oh
Which
dear.
direction, though?
Well, they move forward. They're about to turn around towards you guys, towards your starboard side.
Short pilot, we should probably prepare for an attack.
And
They're
coming
going to
towards
turn around. They're going to turn around. Is that what it is? Turn around and then start
They're
fighting.
moving forward with
Yeah.
the intention of moving towards your starboard
They're
side.
planning to turn around to shoot us.
Yeah.
Starboard.
Yeah, probably.
But I'll say that your scan also shows that they're not very maneuverable. You can
Very
turn
slowly.
Yeah, they're slow.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. Before actually no, we're gonna keep in help. So what would you like to do there, Greg?
I'm going to try the evasive stunt again.
Yep.
Let's see if I can get something a little higher this time. A 4 on the dice.
It's still not
4
bad.
is 9, so it's 13.
Just barely. You feel the tip of the joystick you need to pull to do the evasive actions, and it's just not quite getting there. As we get into the gunnery phase, or actually their helm phase, they are going to. You watch as their ship kind of goes forward and kind of arcs, but in a really pathetic pattern. Doesn't seem to be making any ground.
This is the most exciting spaceship combat ever.
Well, that's until they're shooting at you.
At least we're on equal ground of
As long
sucking.
as they're-
Everyone
As long
just
as
keeps-
they're missing.
It's okay. Everybody's rolling under 5. It's fine. It's a good day.
Excuse me, I'm doing pretty okay.
Yeah,
Thank
You
you.
should get
for-
some guns.
You were
All right.
all worried
The
about
captain
dude.
is going to. Yeah, she's going to send some words of encouragement your way.
Okay.
No, actually, she's going to do a demand because it's harder, but you get a +4. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, she's like, "Damn it, you big lizard! You said you're good at shooting stuff, so shoot them!" And you get a +4 to rolling. And if you hit,
Alright.
you get a +2 to damage.
Okay, there we go. That's a 26.
Yeah.
Natural 20?
No, I rolled an 18.
Oh,
I get,
okay. But that's still pretty good. Okay, cool. So roll 4d4 and add 2 to your damage.
And any ones you roll are automatically 2s.
Yes. So yeah, no, sorry, you don't get the +2 damage. You just that's what it is.
Yeah,
But
3,
you don't do 2s.
6, 9, and this is a 4. It's 13.
13 points of damage.
Yeah.
All right, so you watch the shields in the aft end are completely ripped apart again, and you deal more damage, and you actually watch as a part of the back end of the ship erupts.
Yeah.
There is some form of critical injury dealt to something on their ship.
That's more like it.
That sounds about right.
Okay, Sanford.
All right, they. Let's see here. You watch as they go to shoot at you again. Whatever critical injury it was, they seem to be shooting off on a weird angle. Back to the top. Anybody wants to change positions? No? Keep it the same? Engineering, what are you going to do?
Since they have kept missing us at this moment,
I keep rolling badly.
I'm going to keep the weapons up to the power level that I've been doing it every round.
All right,
pretty awesome.
roll
Diverting
it
more
up
power into the weapons.
to maintain your power. So every time you're firing, the power is discharged and routed back together again. And if you rolled,
At 25.
yep, you're able to just start. You hear the familiar hum of powerful weapons going
yes.
towards
yes.
Goro. All right. With that, they also get to go as well. You watch as their 5 shields are restored. And helm phase. Science officer, you want to go again?
Rats, I was gonna use
I
targeting
know.
system.
Close.
Oh, no.
I rolled an 18, so I rolled bad for shooting, but good for healing. So
Can I do a scan to see what the critical was on their ship?
absolutely, yeah,
Nice.
that's a really good scan.
Oh no, that's a 2 on my die and a 1 on computer. That's a 3.
You sit there and you go,
That's a nice explosion.
really? The shields are back.
Yeah, basically.
Something happened.
All right, Greg.
Grek is going to just do the evasive maneuver again because I want us to still be less targetable. I rolled another 4, so it's a 13. That's really making him mad.
You're still having a hard time reaching that
It's
console,
so far away.
but you watch
Can I-
as their ship officially turns all the way around, and then they're facing us, coming towards.
You need a pillow.
Can I find a small stick to poke buttons with somewhere here? Is there like a coffee stir stick or something?
or like a pillow or a stool or something.
I can
You start
sit
looking
on.
around.
Yeah.
A box.
We're in the gunnery check, and Cam's just like, ha! Yeah, that's it! More like that! And so she's going to give you words of encouragement.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes. Yes. You're very encouraged. You're feeling very encouraged.
I feel so encouraged.
19 plus 2.
Come on.
All right. So,
You can do it. 9. 15.
15, that's plus the 2 she actually just gave you?
Yep.
All right, fantastic. That is just over enough. Yes. So, roll your damage with your 4d4 with any ones coming up as 2s instead, please.
3, 6, 9, 11.
11?
11.
All right, fantastic. Again, rips through their shields. Their front shields seem to completely break, and you deal some damage to the front of the ship. It is not enough to deal another critical to them, but you feel like you're doing quite a bit of damage to them.
Okay.
They're also going to have their gunnery check as well. That is just barely enough, so it will roll damage on you as well.
Is it hitting the 4? Because they're facing
Yeah,
each other?
your front shields.
It's a 6. Yes.
That's good.
Ha.
All right, cool. So your forward shields shatter again. You're dealt another big chunk of damage. And with that, you guys feel a giant boom, like a shake from the bridge in the engine bay. Give me a sec here. Any most critical effects are very apparent in the engineering bay, but you guys,
They rolled a lot. of damage.
straight up. So the critical threshold, it stacks over time. So if every multiple of your critical threshold that is dealt, an injury is dealt to you, or if they do a 19, or if they roll a 20 for an actual critical hit. So with that, you actually watch as the engines themselves, there's a and you see one of the control consoles that operates the engine rooms begins glitching. So you treat the engines as if they have the glitching condition.
Do we know how much they hit us for?
You were hit for total 7 damage past your shields.
Oh,
Also
okay.
did
Past
13
you.
total damage.
Yes, they
Oh,
did.
wow.
They rolled really well for the actual damage itself. So with that, you now have the glitching condition, and that means that everything that has to do with so everything involving the engines, which is most things, including piloting, is at a -2 until it is held together, patched, or otherwise removed.
Piloting was the same as making stealth checks. This wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Back to the top of the round here.
You were literally built
anybody
for
moving?
stealth.
No.
No.
Fantastic. No. Okay. Engineering checks. You get to go first there, Flinch.
Okay, so it's glitching, which is the first step of a critical.
First step of crit, yeah.
Okay, I'm actually going now. Here's the choice I have to make. Do I reinstall the shields, or do I fix the glitch?
I can divert more power.
Well, we've only
to
got one shield on the
Not
starboard.
much. You basically
And
put all
port
your eggs
and
into
2
one
in the
basket.
aft.
Oh crap! Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing that they didn't. If all those shields weren't there, they would have just wrecked us.
Unless you decided to, if you want to go back now and swap science for engineering.
But yeah, because
Then
there
we
can be
have
2
to-
engineering slots.
Oh right. I'm gonna do that. Can I do that?
All right. So as the bullets rip up the front of the ship, and you see the pellets going through, and the engineering bay has a bit of sparking going on. You feel the shaking. You feel the urge, Cliptic, to leave your station and head back into the engineering bay to assist Flinch. So one of these days it won't work. All right. So you can perform 2 engineering actions should you wish. They just cannot be the same action.
I'm going to take the patch action
Okay.
to fix that critical injury
Okay.
Okay.
for the battle.
Right. And
And
I'm gonna take the
shield.
shields. That's what it is.
All right.
The
So
divert.
good old patch action. Roll me a engineering check, and for divert, I will need you to roll me an engineering as well. So what did you get there, Cliptic?
So it's this plus engineer, correct?
Correct.
Yep.
So I have a 19 on the die and 1 in engineering, so 20.
That is enough. You have 7 points of shields. You can allocate wherever you'd like.
I'm gonna say the front. We're still facing them, right?
For now, yes.
I'm going to say the front.
So all in the front?
Yeah, because that's where the critical happened too,
You
right?
guys up in the bridge sees the shields return back to the front of the ship.
Maximum 6.
Maximum of 6.
So you can put one more somewhere else.
Instead, then we're max of 10.
Right,
Dan,
yeah.
6 shields. We can't get above the max.
Yes. So maximum 6, so you got 6 in the front.
Okay.
That's right too.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I patched at a 27. I rolled a 17 plus a 10.
That is enough for the patch.
So the severity of the critical is treated as 1 step less severe for the remainder of the combat until 1 hour has passed or until the system takes critical damage again, which removes the patch and applies the new severity.
Yep. All right. So in that case, it is 1 action to patch. This is your 1 action. You were considered patched. You no longer have a -2 to movement with your engines.
Nice.
You feel the engines kick back into proper form, and we move on to our helm phase, which just has Grek. Oh wait, they're gonna do their engineering as well.
I'm just gonna try the evasive stunt again. Yeah, that's a little better. 12 on the die plus 9 for my skill. So 21 is
That
my
is enough.
favorite number.
Your AC is 4 additional points higher than normal.
Nice.
All right. Their helm phase. They're gonna try and perform a flyby. They'll try and shoot you as they fly over you, and then head on towards behind you. And
Go behind us.
that
We
was
don't have a gun.
not enough. So as they go to, as they approach you and they head on over top, you kind of roll underneath and maintain your forward facing towards them.
Okay.
And
So-
so because they failed, does that provoke a free attack? Because they flew by us? If you fail this check.
Yep. So
Nice.
roll it.
So that's a 15.
That's enough.
Yes.
Roll 4d4. But you don't get your 1 still count as once.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's 13.
Oh.
Yay.
All right. So their forward shields shatter again, and you deal more damage to the front of them. You watch as a secondary explosion erupts on their ship again.
Was that the free action attack? And do I get another one?
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. With that, you know what? So they fly over. They miss. Grek maintains us pointing forward. You rip a hole through the front of them. They're not quite past you, and you can still hit the forward section again without shields.
Okay.
Roll it up.
8.
8 total.
Yep.
And with the second shot, just the proximity and how close you guys are, you just kind of miss forward, and they are now past you. They're aft facing towards you.
Still, I made something explode.
It's the second critical hit on them. With that, top of the Starship Combat round one more time. Anybody want to move around?
Yes, I want to go back to Science Officer.
All right, so having come back and fixed the shields, you then ditch back out of the engineering bay again and just run back up to your station.
You're getting your 10,000 steps.
I am.
Meet those fitness goals.
It's okay, I can heal myself. No, I'm kidding. That's fine.
Yeah. So you head back up. You guys watch as she runs back in.
Yeah, that's right.
Engineering phase. What do you want to do?
Well,
Patched up.
Shields are up, so I'm going to do the divert action and make those weapons better.
Roll it. Roll it.
Like, ooh, weapons! You can do this, lizard lady! Yes, I rolled a 13, so plus 10 engineering is 23 on that
That's
check.
enough. Watch again as the power. You get really used to this overage of power.
Nice.
We're on to they have their engineering phase as well. You watch as their rearward shields seem to bolster a little bit that they're facing you. We're on to the helm phases. Our science officer gets to go first.
So I can't use, like, the shields are up that I can't use targeting systems?
No,
you
only
can.
on the front, but you're not facing the front anymore.
But
The backs are to us.
You can use targeting systems. It's just it just makes the critical on a 19 or 20. That's all. That's all. It's.
Yeah. Okay. So you can.
But that's the only benefit.
Well, sort of. You can,
Okay.
because you can't critical on something with shields. You can do this But that means that Grek has to find a way to put you in position to shoot the shieldless section of their ship.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
That's what that
That's
means.
awesome.
Okay.
So you can, but Grek has to pull off some amazing stuff.
Fair enough.
How
all right.
much do you trust your brand new goblin friend?
Right.
Actually, yeah. Let's try it. Why not?
No pressure afterwards. No pressure.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that thing.
Yeah, roll a computer check.
Oh God. Here
Yeah, I'll
we go.
say that you could do that if you want to. But why not?
Oh no, that's an 8 on my die, and on computers that's a 1.
You are not able. You are too distracted by the amount of power they've reverted to their rear shields. You are not able to.
But at least now the
We're
pilot
apart.
doesn't need to do something crazy.
Although
Well, it doesn't
the idea
need
did
to.
spur in you, Grek. Now they get to. Their pilot gets to move first, but you could try and do a flip and burn, and that might put you in position to shoot them from the front.
Is that
However-
is that the stunt that would do it? I was thinking flyby, but if it's the other one,
Well, you get to move half your speed forward and then whoosh.
Do a 180
that's
in
the
front
flip
of
and
it.
burn.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, they do get to move first.
Yeah, that's fine.
They're going to perform an evade action. That's definitely a success, so their AC is 5 points, 4 points higher. 2 points higher. Yes. Yep. Yeah, 2 points higher. And you watch as they begin to cut tail and run off into space. And just before your helm action gets to happen, there, here on the comm system, that voice from earlier. I know it's you, you slimy green sack of guck. If I don't get my money and my scraps worth out of you, I'll be back. I'll find you, you. Something cuts off the comms from the other end, and you see as the ship begins to veer off. Wish to pursue?
No. Smell it, coward. Let's go somewhere else.
All right, you watch as their ship veers off and
we don't get
takes
a last
off
shot?
into the upper atmosphere of space. You can try and shoot them if you like. You
I kind of want to.
kind of want to?
I do kind of want to.
Roll it. There's no reason why you can't.
Is
Very
there going to be
nicely.
encouragement from the captain again, maybe?
You look over at the captain goes, "They're dicks. Go for it." You know what? Yeah, hey, here. They're dicks. Go for it. She rolled a 1. It's not really encouraging
heard-
as much as it's just like, yeah, I suppose it's all right.
Not a lot of. The attitude isn't there for it.
Yeah, not really about this time.
That is a 17.
That's enough to hit with their evade bonus as they're running away.
And it's going to be against the
It's-
aft because they're
The
flying.
aft end, so it's gonna reduce a lot of the damage, but you get to prove a point. That's really what matters at the end of the day, isn't it?
Always. It's 4, 8, 10, 12.
You watch as you right before they leave the long range capabilities of your chain gun, you rip the bullets up the back end, the shields shatter, you see a few more pellets dealt to the back of the ship. But they keep flying offwards. And
Take that, jerks.
space.
Well, that was most unpleasant.
That was fun.
You like that, Greenie?
Yes.
Alright.
Let's go celebrate with bread and other
I'm
things
coming
you
up
can
to
eat.
the bridge.
You know, you're a little twisted. I could like you.
I pull some moldy fruit out of that looks like it might have been maybe similar to a tomato at one point, but it's definitely not the color anymore. And I just go, shove it a hole into my mouth and start chewing.
Is there a kettle on this ship?
Thank you for listening to this Twisted Gears Studios production. Our next episode of Spacers will air Tuesday, November 27th. In the meantime, Tuesday, November 20th is the next episode of The Call, our Call of Cthulhu actual playcast, GM'd by Derek Snow. And Friday, November 23rd, is the next episode of our collaboration podcast with MacGuffin Media, The Legend of Zing Dong. The game system used today was the Starfinder game system by Paizo. Music in this episode was licensed through Video Copilot. Sound effects and ambient tracks licensed through Triune Films and Video Copilot. For up-to-date content, please subscribe to the Twisted Gear Studios YouTube channel. You can find us, Twisted Gear Studios, on Facebook, iTunes,
Google Play, and now Spotify. As well, we're also on Twitter and Instagram at The Twisted Gear. Your players this evening were Janessa Coles, Lindsay Delansky, Derek Snow, and Elizabeth Wells. Your audio operator tonight was Rob Hickey, and I was your host and GM, Zach Barrett. If you happen to be in the Fort McMurray area, you can find me at Tavern on Main every Monday at 7:30 p.m. for trivia. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.